What is green? Green is sustainability, nature, maybe minimalism or frugalism instead of consumerism. But these big words don't help. I don't know whether I have something to say to you, but I try to do it. So green capitalism, from what perspective am I talking? So I started as an emotional man to get involved in politics and in movements, and then I was elected on a list, not being a party member, for the city council. Then I entered the Green Party as a member, and now I'm still a council member in the city I'm living in with 50,000 inhabitants. So it's not that big, but not that small. And also a delegate in a big public housing company. So I have to make real decision around that. What is green? Green is sustainability, nature, maybe minimalism or frugalism instead of consumerism. But these big words don't help if you really have to decide. So I have to decide whether to sacrifice a piece of nature for building houses for poor people or social houses or something like that, or to decide for keeping nature as it is, a forest or something like that. And this is a hard decision, I think, to make really green politics. So we have 25% of the voters behind us in our region, because maybe for UK people, in Germany, we have a different election system. We don't have the system, the winner takes it all, but there is a representative democracy in our country. So everyone is somehow involved in decisions. So for me, it's very hard to decide. And we have a lot of real hard decisions in our Green Party about how to decide what pieces of the nature we sacrifice, we give to building houses or something like that. So even if we have a lot of ecological criteria for the new houses and all all this kind of discussion, but I think it's really hard. And I developed a small model, but I don't have a PowerPoint or something like that, about the levels of engagement in politics. And I think the more you get into a decisive position where you have to make decisions, the less emotional is it. You have to think about that, and also you have to cooperate a lot. So to be in practical politics means to be in a competitive field with other parties, and always to move between cooperation and conflict. So I think that is a different view than we have in our okay position. I thought about that a long time. Is it the same? Is it this okay realistic Anita English brought in, or what is it? How to deal with our competitors? And sometimes they are enemies and they have a horrible position, especially in the green questions. But on the other hand, you have to cooperate to get into compromise. Therefore, I think that is a good complaint a bit about it. And there are very specific questions. Focus on one question. For example, in France, nuclear power is a green energy. In Germany, nuclear power is the worst you can think about. So these are very, very different positions to green. I would encourage you all to go into practical politics, because I think then you're really to sharpen your view and to make decisions, and you're also forced to come out of not to say simple emotions, but to come out of the first prejudices and emotions that come from that. It is easy to have at home or somewhere else a political green position. I encourage all of you to get into the real process, finding compromises with others and to act in these questions. So now the second point I have, the capitalism. Oh, capitalism has no good image all over the world, I think, in our communities. But if you really look at that capitalism, that all alternatives to capitalism, they have failed from Soviet Union to Venezuela, and you can count about 10, 15 examples in between. So I fear we have to live with capitalism, and there is no the capitalism. I think we have a lot of, that's also practical policy. We have a lot of instruments to regulate, to influence capitalism, as we do it from the Green Party position. We influence sustainability has to be lived in companies, how to be brought, have to be brought into the policies of organizations and of companies. And we have a lot of, not only from our party, but that is a main trend in the country. So we sometimes, as I mentioned before, green question, we also have to the social problem that is sometimes not that compatible to the green orientation. We have a growing population in Germany from 80 to 83 million people in the last six or 7 years by refugees, for example, and this is also a big task we have to solve. And I don't see any other economic model that can bring this workplaces for people than we have in the moment. I'm come back to the encouragement position that I invite you, and I want to mobilize your energy to really get involved in practical policies with all the restrictions and all the bad emotions sometimes. If you have, there is a quote in Germany, another quote, if you have these friends, you don't need enemies. That is for the inner party dialogue sometimes. So I don't know whether that is understandable, this quote. Thank you.